Hey, it's Central Valley Business. I'm your host, Steve Welling. My guests for this segment are Isiah and Mariah Sisneros. And we're going to talk about what are your thoughts.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Got that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
See, even though with all this gray hair you thought I was going to drop it, nailed it, right? Still good to go. So, okay, what are your thoughts? It is a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yes.
I know the word. I have an idea. No. Okay. Is it daily, weekly? You know, what's the...
We went from every Friday to now Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so
Yeah.
3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it started out, you said, because you got tired of listening to him share his thoughts with you and you wanted to take it to a no. You talked about, the idea came about because you had these various conversations, topical, and you thought they were important enough conversations that you wanted to impose them on the rest of the world, right?
Yeah.
Or you wanted to share them.
Yes.
Right? That's better put, right? You know, how you put things oftentimes depends on how they're received.
But
okay.
hey, you're right.
So,
Yes.
all right. You started this in January. How did the idea, Mariah, come about to take this from just conversations? You got tired of listening to Isiah and you thought, you know.
More like he got tired of listening to
No.
me.
Okay.
So we both had this idea separately,
Okay.
but at different times in our lives. So I came up with this idea with somebody else back when I believe I was pregnant or before that, but I kind of put it to the side to focus on my pregnancy and finish school. And then we started talking about it last year.
At the end of 2019.
Yeah.
And I think it was just like she said, we both independently had the idea, and it was kind of the point where like, okay, if we really want to do this, now's the best time, and we just
So-
actually
So
went forward.
you set her down and said, listen, dump that other person. You know, you're gonna break up the family if you don't partner with me, right? No. How did that come about? Who approached who first?
I want to say I'll take credit for that. I think I want to say I came up to her and was just like, you know what, I want to do a podcast. She obviously had the idea of doing a podcast herself, so
And my mom, I don't remember this, but my mom says that she gave me the idea to do
Moms,
this
they always want to take
because I'm a talker.
yeah. I was gonna say, to give Mariah the benefit of the doubt, she does have just a natural personality of just being a very social person, a very person who likes to talk. Me, I'm comfortable being in the background, but since it's my sister, it's easy to kind of just have the conversation. It's easy for her.
compatibility,
Yes.
relationship,
Yes. Yeah.
similar backgrounds, okay. All right. So you started in January.
Correct.
And it was a weekly program. What is the process that someone goes through to create a podcast? How does that happen?
I think the most difficult part we had to go through is just finding a distributor. So we went from anywhere from Spreaker to
Spotify,
pretty much any
YouTube.
Yes, any podcasting hosting site you can think of. We probably tried it and we got comfortable with Spreaker, so we just used that.
Okay.
And that's
Part
that,
of I'm sorry.
that was probably the most difficult part, just finding a distributor. Other than that, it's just, I guess, being consistent enough to do it each week, I guess, is the tough part, but we enjoy doing it, so it's something we look forward to.
So, okay. When you go to some host like Spotify that you're with, is there a hosting fee that they charge you, or do you just put it up there and develop an audience?
Not necessarily a hosting fee. It's more of just you have access to more of the site if you pay, let's say, $20 a month. Whereas if you use the free version, you get 100 hours. You use the $20 version, you get 500 hours, something like that.
So you're at the $500 version, right?
No.
No,
I
you're
wish.
built-
Almost.
Okay. All right. Your I'll use the term popularity. Okay. As it grows, does like advertising become available to your podcast that that you get a financial cutback on? Does your hosting company, they're going, wow, these people got five people a week watching this. We need to, no. But I mean, you hit a certain level of audience and they say, okay, you want to monetize your,
Right.
and that's what they call it these days, right?
There is a monetization option on Spreaker, but I want to say that you probably have a higher chance of getting that, a more consistent monetization if you have a lot of viewers.
Right.
Since we're starting out, we've got very minimal viewers, but I think once it gets to a certain point, we'll easily have that capability.
Okay. Now, you say viewers, is this a video
we're trying to get to that point. Right now, it's just strictly audio.
It's strictly
Yeah.
audio, okay.
But we were looking at our stats, and it looks like on Instagram we have, what was it, about 600 listens?
No. On just our statistics throughout our Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, we have about 600 total listens, not
Okay.
on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, is that weekly, I mean, per show listing?
No. That's just from the beginning of the time we started the series
okay.
till April.
So,
May.
okay, each podcast, what's your audience right now, you figure?
Oh, we have would say our demographic is all types. I mean, we don't really have a specific audience we're gearing towards. We want to make this capable for all viewers.
Yeah, even old gray-haired,
Yeah.
I might be interested.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think
think
you
so.
would.
Yeah, you're all too young, you know? I'm,
No,
I'm old
you-
school, stuck in my stuff,
What
right?
type of things are you into?
What's that?
What type of things are you into?
What type of things are, you're too young to understand.
Shoot.
Yeah.
What,
No.
like,
You know, I have a very broad interest space, and there's probably a lot of your content that I would listen to and go, they don't know what they're talking about. No. But no, you know, you probably do, because I do. I stay current on, you know, politics,
As do
world
we.
news, you know, local stuff, you know. So yeah. Why would I want to? No, I may have to look you up.
yeah.
Now you got to understand, my tech person is my 10-year-old grandson.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I mean, and he's the one that recently told me that I got to move beyond Facebook because it's old school, right? Yeah, I didn't know that. But no, things like Spotify and these other things, I know they're out there. Seriously, I've not had much experience, which is one of the reasons why I was asking the questions.
And hey, that's okay. I didn't have much experience with that either until we started doing the podcast. So,
And you like what you do?
We love it.
yeah, we love it.
Okay, although you don't do a live podcast, you get, how's the feedback on, you know, your shows that you put up?
I mean, so far for the couple reviews, I mean, keeping fair, one of the reviews is me, but the reviews we have on Apple Podcasts, I mean, we have 5 stars so far, and we've gotten so far mostly positive feedback. But to be fair, it's not like we really put ourselves out there enough to really say anything controversial or
Well,
even.
you know, Isaiah, as you grow, you know, one of the things that, listen, you're going to want to create an audience where the feedback is not all going to be homogenous, where, gee, you kids are really great.
Right, right.
I mean, you want people you want to stimulate thought.
Correct.
You know, and thought is going to stimulate controversy sometimes. I mean, you want to keep it at a certain level. You don't want to get real crazy.
Right.
You know, but, okay, now, you're on Spotify, right? How do you get out on Apple? What is that a separate hosting thing? I mean, how does that work?
I just went on Google and just simply typed up how to get your podcast distributed through Apple, and it tells you right there. I think there's a separate section of actual, I don't know if it's iTunes or Apple itself, that's strictly for podcasters.
Yeah.
And I believe we waited, I want to say, a week or 2 to actually get our podcast reviewed. Once it got reviewed, we were accepted and we got on Apple to there. Spotify
Okay.
took a little bit less time, probably like 5 days.
All right, that's cool. All right, so now, you know, with the virus and, you know, sheltering in place, you know, people are finding things to do or climb walls, you know, or throw their kids out the back door if they're, But have you noticed an uptick in your audience numbers?
You know what? I have a little bit. I have noticed that there is an uptick, especially with us doing it Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Right.
Yeah, there is a bit of a change in there.
The greater degree of frequency of new content, you know, okay. Where do you two want to go with this? I mean, what are you looking at?
Eventually, I think the general consensus between the two of us would be to maybe have our own talk show one day, maybe have some sort of a radio show one day, because we both know what we're capable of, and we both love what we do. We're consistent at it as well, and I think people do like to hear what we talk about. We have a great dynamic between us. We have a great flow. So eventually we do want to put ourselves out there, and we also would like to be visible as well.
And we mentioned last time in the podcast, besides all of that, we do want that, but we also want to be a platform for everyone else who wants to come up as well.
Yes.
Just because.
So right, and we do want to interview people as well, local individuals.
And the goal ultimately is to do live podcast, or
That would be nice.
That
I
would
mean,
be great.
Yeah.
That would be ideal. Yeah.
I look at it as at the end of the day, if we're still having fun with it, that's fine with me.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless if it's audio, video, we're calling it through the phone. As long as we're still having fun, then we're doing.
Yeah.
well, you'll continue to have fun until you start competing with me. No, I'm joking. No. That's great.
Thanks.
And as your audience numbers grow, if your ability to monetize, grows, don't forget contract, cut her out. No, but I mean, listen. If you provide interesting content consistently, people are going to begin to show up and come back, and that'll be good.
Yeah.
That's
We
great.
agree.
Um,
Yeah. So thanks for giving us this
thank you.
platform
Thank
to put out what we do.
Well, the contract you signed before coming in gives me a percentage of anything you make from this point forward,
Right.
so I'm good to go with it.
Right,
No.
that 10%.
Yeah, there you go. No, listen, I wish you well.
Thank
It's-
you.
You as well.
I'm already there. No, listen, I fell into this. Wasn't my intention to do what I'm doing.
Can I ask what you were doing before?
I was retired.
Oh, really?
I was,
Okay.
I was a doctor of chiropractic in a former life, and in a long time ago, I'm not going to tell you when, but no, in '93 I moved my family. I retired and moved my family up near Yosemite
Oh,
because I
okay.
had 3 out of my 5. I still had 3 young kids, and I didn't want to raise them in the city. I was from Southern Cal, and so
Oh, nice.
we moved up there. I raised them up in the mountains, and the nice thing, future reference, nice thing about raising kids up in the mountains is when you kick them out, they go down to the city, and you only have to see them during family gatherings, right?
True. Yeah,
but
yeah.
No, it was a great place to raise kids,
Nice. Okay.
and it's a great place to live now.
Yeah,
and,
I love Yosemite.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything you want to share before we close off?
You know what? I think right now is the perfect opportunity to give a shout out to all of the essential workers,
Yes,
all of
yes.
the medical personnel on the front line, people who are risking their health and their lives to serve us and to protect us. I think that is, it's very vital that people recognize the work that other people are doing just for us right now.
agree.
So,
Isaiah, I can see why you partnered up with her.
Yeah.
However, did she tell people how to get a hold of you, how to listen to you?
That's funny that you mentioned that
Yeah.
because we'll get to the end of our episode sometimes, and she's kind of like wrap it up, even though I want to kind of.
and you know what? Last time we were here, we didn't say
Yeah, so-
where. Okay, so you know
Where,
what?
how?
Go
Come
ahead.
on, let's
ahead.
YouTube,
We got to
it's as simple
promote
as
ourselves.
WAYT 3019.
On YouTube?
Face,
Yeah.
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 So you're out there on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's just the audio
Facebook.
version, but still.
Yeah.
Facebook is What Are Your Thoughts? Instagram is WAYT 3019, and
Yeah,
Twitter is
WAYT 3019.
Correct,
Email WAYT 3019 at gmail.com.
Mhm.
Simple as that.
yeah. So
There you go.
there's several ways to reach out to us, and we are on different
Okay.
platforms.
Before we close, reaching out to you, do you take suggestions for topics?
Yes, we do.
welcome
And we
them,
have been
yeah.
given suggestions many times. Yes.
I'll give you one.
Okay.
How to be much nicer to the geriatric generation.
Okay. Okay.
No, I'm
That's a good one.
No,
You're
no.
absolutely
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Talk about
So you got to be nicer to me now, right?
All right. Yeah.
No.
For next
Thanks
time.
for being with us.
Thank you.
Good luck with what you're doing.
Thank
like
you.
to see you grow, and yeah, that's a good thing.
Thank you.
Thank you very
What an
much. We
opportunity
appreciate
to
it.
have you in and being able to talk to you now, so I can say I knew you win.
Yeah.
there you
Yep.
Thank
10
you.
years from now, you
Uh-huh.
never know.
All
Thank
right.
you.
What do you think about, or what are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? And I'll see you when we come back.